Hello everyone, welcome back to the LFC Transfer Room YouTube channel. We're back again with another expert analysis. We've been bringing you those left, right and centre throughout this summer transfer window. And we've got another one today with Anthony Mango, who's going to be here for a Leny Yoro expert analysis. So first and foremost, though, Antonio, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you very much for inviting us on. How are you?
No problem at all. I'm doing great. It's great to be linked with world-class players. Maybe not world-class, but great players throughout the summer window. And it's a window we can look forward to as Liverpool fans, especially under a new manager. So we're going to dive straight into it. First question, who is Leny Yoro?
So Leny Yoro is a 18-year-old centre-back, a right-footed centre-back who's currently playing in France for Lille. He was born on the 13th of November 2005, making him 18. He is French. He's been playing for the French youth system, but he is of Ivorian descent through his father as well. And he joined Lille in 2017 at the age of 12.
We know he's a defender now. What style of defender is he? We've touched on before, Konate can be a bit of that aggressive defender. Van Dijk's a bit more relaxed. So what style of defender would you say Leny Yoro is?
So I would like him more towards Van Dijk. He's a very passive defender, somebody that likes to drop slightly deeper when needed, clear the ball, make interceptions, not engage too often, as you see from Konate, where he's really robust, powerful. Yoro is a lot more relaxed, composed, calculated, just like Virgil van Dijk.
So is he versatile to play many positions? So not just that centre back. You've got Joel Gomez who can play left back and right back for us. I believe he was actually brought in as a left back and moved into centre half. Can Leny Yoro play many positions, or is it just at centre back?
Just at centre back for Leny Yoro, but he is capable of playing well. We've seen him play for Lille, both left and right centre back. Now, when he first broke through at Lille was last season. He started 8 league games, and Paulo Fonseca, the manager, was still finding his way. So he was still changing formation, playing with sometimes a 3 at the back or a 4 at the back. This season, they've stuck to a 4 at the back, but he is capable of playing inside a back 3 and 4.
I wouldn't say we're moving to a 3 at the back, but when you got Alexander Arnold either playing that inverted role or him pushing so far up the pitch, Robertson's been more for, I wouldn't say weakness, but he's been a key area for opponents to target. And obviously, he's not a natural centre half. He can play there, as we've seen for Scotland. But it'll be interesting. It's good to know that Leny Yoro has that capability of playing as part of the back 3, as do our other centre halves. But we are linked with a centre half, of course, in Leny Yoro. So, next question we've got: what are his key traits?
So his key traits, I wanna build his profile first, so what he looks like, because he's quite unique. He reminds us of like a young Rio Ferdinand. What I mean by that, he's tall, he's rangy, and he's very lean, extremely lean. And his key strengths are undoubtedly his positioning, his one-on-one defending, his athleticism, his acceleration, his awareness, and he's very concentrated and disciplined. He's very much like a modern day defender. He's both good on the ball and off the ball. And I think when you play for a top team like Liverpool, that's what you need. You need those attributes both on the ball and off the ball, which I will touch upon a few statistics later on when we delve in more further detail.
Absolutely. So, listen, you've painted this perfect picture for a centre half. He's got all the traits we need. But are there any weak areas to his game, would you say?
There is, and I would say one he is improving on in comparison to last season. But I would say there are 2 weaknesses, and he doesn't feel comfortable in moments of chaos or in engagement. He likes things structured, and he likes to read the game rather than work off the cuff, if that makes sense. So let's say if they're getting counter-attacked, he's not very good in the chaos moments. When he's got the ability to read the game, he's absolutely flawless. And another one is, and he has improved on this incredibly, is he used to get very tight to his marker and they used to pull him out of position. But now he's starting to learn that he's gaining more experience and learning to stick to his position. So he's not creating extra gaps for opponents to move into.
Interesting stuff. And as you already pointed out earlier in the video, he's just 18 years old. So there's huge room for improvement here. whether he joins Liverpool or whether he joins another team. And we're going to touch on that right now. So he has been linked, not just with Liverpool, he's been linked with Paris Saint-Germain and Real Madrid as well. We have a little of a trend going on, whenever a player's linked with Liverpool, and then as soon as I get linked with Real Madrid, they're off straight to Real Madrid. Chouameni, Mbappe to an extent. We weren't realistically going to get him. I'll say Camavinga maybe. There's been a couple more examples. Do you see Liverpool perhaps suiting him the most in terms of play style, or do you think he would excel a lot more at a Real Madrid or Paris Saint-Germain team?
Personally, I think he would excel a lot more at Liverpool, and I'll tell you why, because Virgil van Dijk is there. Now, when you've got a character like Virgil van Dijk, and you're learning from him and gaining that experience and his know-how, that is priceless. But another thing, if you look at the way Liverpool defend compared to Real Madrid, and if you look at Real Madrid in the Champions League this year, they tend to not have that high line, and they tend to just sit back more and play on that counter-attack, whereas Liverpool have that higher line, and that's exactly what Lille have done this season, and that plays to his strengths because his speed, acceleration, speed of thought, and his ability to just read the game and snuff out those danger attacks and opposition getting in behind is exactly what his key strengths are. And that's why I think you'd be more suited to Liverpool than he would Real Madrid.
Well, that's good to hear. I think a lot of the current Real Madrid players, before they actually joined them, we all said they're better suited to us as well, but they ended up choosing Real Madrid. Moving on though, am I wrong in saying that he played against Aston Villa, right, in the Conference League?
He did indeed.
He did, and he played very well.
Yeah.
Right.
And so if you look at his experience this season compared to last season, in the Liga, he only started 8 games last season. This season, he started 30 out of 32, and he's played in pretty much, apart from suspensions, every single European Cup game as well. So the experience that he's gaining at just 18 years old, and personally, I think the most difficult position to come into at senior level is a centre-half. I think that's the most difficult position because you need to control everything. You need to have some sort of charisma, character, personality. And we've seen that this year with Leny Yoro. Nothing phases him at all.
Absolutely. And as I've mentioned, he's performed at that European level already against Aston Villa. Obviously, Conference League isn't as regarded as Champions League or Europa, but still a good competition. And Villa are doing very well this season, getting top 4 in Champions League football for next year. So could you see him as a regular starter for Liverpool? That's the question. We've got already top defenders. Jarell Quansah as well. He looked really good last season. Coming into next season, you can assume he's going to start a lot more. Konate as well, obviously, I'd regard him in that world-class category or borderline reaching that level. Virgil van Dijk, don't really talk much about him. Would you say that you could see Leny Yoro starting for Liverpool? Would you see him as more for, who'll learn from Konate and then who'll maybe overtake a Virgil van Dijk spot and be his partner in the future?
I think at first he might not be an immediate starter, because I honestly rate Quansah very highly. I think he's very clued on what he does. But I think Leny Yoro possesses qualities and a well-roundedness that it would be criminal not to eventually start him. And I do think he can be Virgil van Dijk's partner in the future. And then when Virgil van Dijk moves, it can be Quansah and Yoro. Imagine that partnership for a young... If they have 8 years together, that would be insane. He's got all the attributes you want from a top world-class defender. So it's up to him to apply those now.
So we've just touched on that. Does he have that potential to be a starter for Liverpool in the future? Absolutely. But how would you currently compare him to our current defenders?
So if you look at statistically, not only has he improved Lille, but he's improved... his statistics are up there with Virgil van Dijk's, which is outrageous when you think he's only 18 years old. If you look at clearances, he finished second in Lille's. When I say second, this is to Lille's team. Sorry, in Liga. So clearances, he finished second in Liga with 97. That's only behind Virgil van Dijk, 114. So he finished above Trent, Konate, Kwanzaa. Interceptions, again, he finished second in Liga. That's only behind one defender, Virgil van Dijk. Virgil van Dijk finished with 37 interceptions. Leny Yoro finished with 36. Like, these are very close numbers, but he's finishing above Kwanzaa, above Konate, above Trent. And I know you can say that's legal in comparison to Premier League, but you've still got to do it. You've still got to put in the figures. You've still got to put in the effort and the work rate to do it and the reading of the game. Pass completion, he finished, if you compare him against everybody in Liverpool's team, he finished with a higher percentage, 92.1%. So pass completion, he's extremely accurate. And this isn't just side by side, although he does know how to recycle possession, but he switches of play. He's outstanding at doing and finding players in more advanced areas. He's unbelievable at that. His progressive distance, he finished third in Liga. He's only behind Virgil van Dijk, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Alisson. So he's more progressive with his passes than Konate, than Kwanzaa, than Andy Robertson, etc. And that speaks volumes. And then lastly, one thing I was surprised about, because I don't see him as an engaging centre-back, but for tackles won, he won 25 in Liga last season. That's only behind Joe Gomez and Trent. So he actually won more tackles than Virgil van Dijk. And that's unbelievable to think, considering he is only 18 years old. But not only is he impressive in his individual stats, he's actually put Lille onto a different level as well. So in comparison from this season to last season, Lille's goalkeeper made 122 saves in Liga. This season, only 94. So the shots against his goalkeeper are improving. That's because of his presence, because nobody else has changed in that back line. It's just he stepped into it. Clean sheets have improved. They finished second in Liga, only behind Nice. They finished with 15. Liga, Nice finished with 17th. And last season, they finished with 10 clean sheets. So they've improved by 5 games. Ball possession. In Liga, lastly, Lille finished second for ball possession in Liga, only behind PSG, of course, with 57%. So that tells me that he knows what to do when he's on the ball. He's got an extensive passing range, especially mid and long range, and he's extremely composed in tight and open spaces. And I think to play at Liverpool, you need those attributes. So when you're comparing statistics, he's up there with the very best, and he's only 18 years old, so these can only improve.
Absolutely. And you know what? I've got a sense here that you just described, a very unique centre-half. So I think Michael Edwards kind of looks for those players as well. You know, Matip was much more for, he's going to take the ball, he's going to run past about 5 million players and try and find Mo Salah. Van Dijk's a lot more reserved, a lot more relaxed. Konate, more aggressive. Kwanzaa's obviously just came from our academy, but it sounds like he's got his own unique style of play. He's confident enough to play at centre half at 18 years old on a European level as well. So it's all sounding good. So as you just mentioned, it just sounds brilliant. It sounds perfect for us. However, and there's a very big however, we've heard the same stuff with Konate, we've heard it with Joel Matip, and we've heard it with Joel Gomez. Their stats are incredible. There's one big issue though, their injury records. Does Leny Yoro possess the same injury-prone record as Konate, Matip, and Joel Gomez, or is his injury record looking quite clean?
His injury record is looking absolutely clean, because this season he's only missed 3 days of injuries, and in that 3 days he missed 1 game. So the minutes he's putting out for an 18-year-old is insane, and I put that down to him being more calculated in what he challenges and how he challenges as well. He's not robust where he will absolutely fly into a tackle. He's more calculated, concentrated, and he tackles when he very rarely goes to ground, should I say. So he is very focused in how he tackles opponents, and he uses his body extremely well. He can orientate his body. He's got good agility for a big lad. He's got good acceleration speed. So I want to make this point because I watched them closely when Lille played against PSG, and I wanted to focus solely on him, on how he would cope with Mbappe, and I was amazed, like just the way he could control a situation when Mbappe was flying at him was outstanding, and that's what I mean by he doesn't lunge into tackles where he could get injured. Do you know what I mean? He's a lot more concentrated and disciplined.
That's interesting stuff. It sounds very similar, I'd say, to Virgil van Dijk, where he's not just lunging into challenges, and he's a lot more, I know we keep saying the word reserved, though.
Yeah.
But we're going to move on to the final question. If you have liked the video, obviously be sure to press the like button, subscribe with notifications on, and check out Antonio's Twitter and his YouTube channel, which we're going to link in the description. Antonio Mango, sorry. So that's all going to be in the description for you to check out for yourselves. And check out his thread he's already made on Leny Yoro. We'll be linking that as well. Amazing thread, which is how we found him for this video. So moving on to the final question. It's a two-parter. So how much do you think Lille would demand for Leny Yoro? You're obviously painting this perfect picture. He's a great upcoming centre-half. So we can expect a very pricey price tag unless there's perhaps a release clause on it. And secondly, how much do you actually believe that he's worth in this market? So two variations, Lille's sort of demanding price tag, and how much do you think he's actually worth?
So I think Lille, from what I've heard, are demanding roughly 50 million for Leny Yoro. Now, I know that's a lot of money for a young player because you don't know how he's going to progress. You don't know. I know his injury record's great at the minute, but you don't know what. Do you know what I mean? So it's a lot of money. But for me, I think somewhere in the region of 25 to 30 million is what Liverpool should be looking to pay for them. Because when you think about it, what he's doing at 18 years old, there's not many centre-backs that have come out and done this. Playing at a top level, one of Europe's top 5 leagues, the European experience he's gained this season, the statistics that he's putting out, not many 18-year-olds can have that acumen. So I think in the region about 25 to 30 million would be fair.
Fair enough. It sounds quite underpriced for how much you've been doing for this video, I must say. But, you know, with inflation, obviously nowadays, 50 million for an 18-year-old, it sounds so normalised, but it's absolutely ridiculous. But we're going to thank you, Antonio, again, for joining us in this expert analysis. Once again, check him out on Twitter. All his links are going to be in the description of this video. I hope you guys all enjoyed. We're going to be releasing some expert analysis throughout this transfer window. We're linked with everyone and everyone's parents and brothers and siblings, whatever you want to say. And thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you all in the next video.